Let's talk about the Super Mario Brothers movie. The Super Mario Brothers movie, the movie we've all been waiting for since the 1990s disaster, Super Mario Brothers.
We're faster than the others, you'll be hooked on the brothers.
First off, this is not a bad movie. I don't want people to watch this video and come away thinking that I hate this film. I do not hate this film. It simply could have been so much more. And simply because you're adapting a video game does not mean you have to stick within the confines of a very simplified narrative. But the Super Mario movie is finally released, so let's talk about it. There is a problem with the Super Mario movie. Over the last several days, I've seen fans of this film reporting the same thing, that although it isn't a breathtaking film, it's okay. Because although this isn't a breathtaking movie, it's not a film that's going to change your life and your philosophy about the world around you. It's a Mario film, so they didn't expect it to be something fantastic. But they should have. When it comes to any form of entertainment, you should always have the goal of exceeding the audience's expectations. So, let us begin the Super Mario Brothers movie. Chris Pratt as Mario does not work. It's like if you had a Mickey Mouse movie and you had Vin Diesel voice Mickey. You start the movie, "Hey, oh boy Donald. Gosh, Mickey, you sound a bit different." Chris Pratt doesn't know what voice he wants to do. He doesn't know if he wants to simply be himself or put an accent, and his accent will switch around. Chris Pratt did not care about this movie whatsoever. He didn't. Look at the footage of him on opening night. He looks disheveled and confused. He doesn't even remember recording anything for this movie. That's why he couldn't remember what a Koopa is.
Growing up, I spent hours of my life stuffing Koopas up my nest in the original Mario Brothers laundromat. And then, of course, it came out my friend.
This man has not played a video game since he was around 9 years old in the 1980s. He keeps telling his story about how he played Mario at a laundromat. That's the first and last time he ever played it. Even Vinny from Vinesauce would have given a better performance than Chris Pratt. "Hey Mario, we're in the movie!" Charlie Day as Luigi is acceptable simply because he's actually giving effort into the character, and whilst it's not the Luigi voice I would prefer, it's satisfying to hear someone who actually tries. Keegan-Michael Kay as Toad. He's okay. Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong. He's Seth Rogen. I've heard it many times before, I continue to hear it. The idea that Mario's voice, as is heard within the games, would not fit a movie that runs for 90 minutes, that it might be grating on the ear. But Charles Martinet, the voice actor for Mario for the last 30 years, can act seriously. People forget he's a trained theater and voice actor. Not only does he voice Mario, he voiced Parthenox. The idea that he couldn't perform Mario in a serious manner for a movie simply is not rooted in reality. If it's truly the case that Charles Martinet's Mario didn't work out for the themes of the movie, let me pose a question. Why did they also recast every single character? Good question. And why not train voice actors with experience in this medium of entertainment? Watching this movie the entire time feels rather surreal. There's a somewhat uncanny feeling. We are watching the Mario character models move on screen, but their voices and personalities aren't what you expect. Clearly, we're in Mario's world, but something's askew. We're here, but we're not here. It's almost as if you're watching a cast of imposters portray an alternate reality. But perhaps that's fitting since we're dealing with a world that involves parallel universes. Here's the true situation. Illumination is a business, and as a business, their main goal is to generate revenue more so than it is to create art, so they can pay their employees, get more credit in the business, and fund more projects in the future. Since Hollywood actors have track records of being very successful and selling movies very efficiently, and because many Hollywood actors have voiced their characters in the past films, Steve Carell's Gru for instance, they have it in their minds that they need Hollywood actors in order for a film to be successful. So rather than gamble on the video game voice actors for this film, they follow the same philosophy. It's a very regular theme in the industry. Why would you hire people you aren't used to working with, that you aren't certain about in terms of their performance and what they can do, when you have a long list of other people who you have worked with that have been rather successful when you worked with them? No, 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 no. So they hire people they're used to working with because they know from their past successes there's a high chance they can help market the film. It's why in every big American Hollywood blockbuster you see the same actors every single time. It's similar with anime where you hear the same voices every single time.
Hey, it's Todd Abercorn.
You see what I mean? The problem here is you don't really need to do that. Mario is one of the biggest franchises in history. A Mario movie sells itself. Video games are no longer niche like they were in the 70s. Mario's been a household name in most of the developed world for nearly 40 years. It's going to make $1 billion because it's Mario.
Stoked, bruh. That's probably what it feels like. I don't know, I'd probably drown if I tried to surf, but...
No. This isn't a deep philosophical film that's attempting to tackle the big questions in life or get you to rearrange your perspective and philosophies as to how the world around you operates. We all know it's a basic story. It changes things a bit. Mario saves Luigi instead of Peach. Peach trains Mario to be capable of saving Luigi. But there are plenty of other stories within this universe that could have been used. I would love to have seen a film that focused on the story of Super Mario RPG, for instance, or the comic book in the 1990s, Super Mario World, or the Mario and Luigi series. Let's not kid ourselves, this isn't a deep dissertation on various aspects of the human form. It's a Mario movie. As a Mario movie, you expect to see a film filled with brilliant colors and wacky characters. And the movie has plenty of that. There are Easter eggs scattered all around, and all of our beloved characters are here. It makes you question how they managed to stuff so much content from the games into a mere 90 minutes. I love the title sequence with the rap, I loved all that. I must say, I like Spike's little jab at the Mario Brothers in the opening few minutes. The stupid Mario Brothers. No, not the Mario Brothers. We're the stupid Mario Brothers. Okay, we got low IQs. We only scored about 5. The movie provides numerous things from the Mario and Luigi universe that you would expect in this sort of movie. But while the basic building blocks of Mario are here, it never surpasses your expectation to provide you with something new. To quote Samuel L. Jackson, not everyone goes to the movies to have their lives changed. But why not? Why not? You should want to show them things they've never seen before, things they could never dream of. You should want to surpass the boundaries of what the audience expected, no matter what age range you're directing it for. Because that's what art is all about. Incrementally improving until you create something truly remarkable. The Super Mario movie at its core is a Mario movie. But it shouldn't only be just a Mario movie. There's no law of the universe that says Mario has to be simple, that Mario must not have a story that can actually touch on the emotions that people experience in real life. There's no law of the universe that says we cannot explore characters in ways they've never been explored before, or add another dimensionality to why Luigi is scared. It never surpasses your expectations. It never really exceeds being just a Mario movie. To provide you with something new. For instance, Pixar manages to get you to experience the emotions of their characters through their writing. No one denies this. All the way back to Toy Story, whereas Illumination is not so adept, instead always playing among a comedic pool. They always skitter and slosh about in the shallows while scarcely diving deeper to explore anything more complex, emotionally speaking. When you see Woody sad, you feel sad. When you hear Mr. Incredible and Elastigirl discussing how to change laws around heroes, you empathize with them. In Japanese, there's a concept called ma. Ma means negative space. Ma is all the things you can't hear or see explicitly. Emotions, feelings, struggles that you feel even though they aren't conveyed directly. Moments where you take a breather, where emotion flows through landscapes or conversations, even though there isn't an intense scene unfolding to wow you. The anime film producer Hayao Miyazaki has used elements of Ma in his filmmaking. It can be seen in Howl's Moving Castle and Princess Mononoke, especially in Spirited Away. But there are rarely those moments here, nor will you really feel your emotions entangled by any of the characters at any point. It's a constant stream of stimulation from beginning to finish, which, whilst amusing, doesn't leave much room for character development. What little character development the cast of characters from the Mario Brothers can have, a pinch would still be nice. There should be a few silent moments, a few seconds for rest, where we take a moment, a minute or two, or where characters can emotionally reflect on what's happening to them. The movie is here and there in the blink of an eye. For instance, Mario is in the Mushroom Kingdom for less than 1 minute, and within less than 60 seconds he's with Toad on the way to the castle. When Mario meets Peach, she's barely surprised to see another human being in the world. She sees a human being in her world for the first time in her entire life, and she barely asks him any questions, in a conversation lasting 30 seconds perhaps at most. With a man she's just met, she immediately thinks to have him accompany her on this adventure to save the kingdom, and Mario acquiesces immediately. To my mind, this film should have really focused more on the relationship between Mario and Luigi, and well, superficially that's what it's about. I think it could have been done a bit better. The movie, visually stunning, absolutely beautiful in terms of the coloration. Although in honesty, I've never been in love with Illumination's style of animation. I've just never been enamored with the animation style which exaggerates every single movement and overstretches and squishes the characters' faces and bodies whenever they interact with their environment. And what I mean by that is within the realm of 3D CGI animation. To me at least. It's more impressive, cooler, to see CGI which attempts to mimic the physics of the real world. Especially when the characters involved are clearly from an unrealistic world doing things that could never happen in real life. When you have to limit yourself with what you do when it comes to animating, you have to work around that, and that can open possibilities for innovation. It's simply more interesting to me to see things that cannot exist presently in real life, acting as if they could. I'm not saying I hate an overly wacky, zany, silly form of animation. Sometimes silliness is cool, but in my opinion, taking something that's expected for children and turning it to something a bit more serious is more interesting. And the music is beautiful in the film, it's absolutely fantastic. Which leads me to something else. You will find that in various parts of the film, they chose pop rock songs for some of the montages. Instead of having orchestrated Mario music for some of the montages, for example during the Mario Kart sequence or the training sequence with Princess Peach, they instead elected to use songs such as I Need a Hero and Take On Me. It begs the question, who was in charge of this film? Who really was in charge of this film? Because we have evidence from employees that worked on this film at Illumination that they had very specifically composed scores for these scenes. But then they chose to replace it with the same songs we've heard over and over and over and over and over again in every single movie in history. It doesn't fit the tone of Mario. And people will say, don't complain, it's a children's movie. Children are not unintelligent. You can produce a movie that is appropriate for children without belittling them, and that's a problem with many entertainment businesses that focus on creating content for children. They stagnate. I was talking to my younger cousin earlier this week, and she told me that she's upset because Mario doesn't even sound like Mario in the movie. I was talking to her. Oh, hello, beautiful princess. How are you today? And she told me, you would make a better Mario. It doesn't even sound like him. I said, well, thank you. I don't know what they were thinking. Even a Brooklyn accent. Hey, how you doing? It's the Super Mario Brothers. Go f*** yourself. I'm on your sink and clogging your toilet. Don't f*** with me. I'll beat the shit out. You do not have to confine yourself to the limitations Art is an opportunity to express various ideas and to create upon things that before were not as they seem. Art is an opportunity to refurbish what you see in your environment. And that extends to filmmaking. This film is going to entertain most people, as it should. But if you could see what I see in my imagination and my expectations of what could have been, you would understand that this film could have been so much more. It doesn't have to be just a Mario movie. But it's going to make $1 billion anyway. So what do I rate the Super Mario movie? I give the Super Mario Brothers movie. Go see it for yourself. Go see it for yourself and make your own decision. There's always a different perspective on how something could have gone. Generate your own opinion based on your own experiences. If you think I'm wrong and I'm overanalyzing this and my expectations are too high, it's okay. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. If you enjoyed this video, thank you very much. If you did not enjoy this video, well, thank you for sticking with me until the end. I love you. Hey Mario, we're in a movie. I fucking hate movies. Fuck movies. Worst fucking piece, you know. Hey Mario, why are you so upset? They fuck me.